In this video, we're going to talk about how to heal your gut for good, the logic behind it. There's a lot of you people still following the holistic nonsense, and I want to show you. I love reading your guys' comments. Sometimes they're a little bit frustrating to read, but I used to have this perception of the world as well, and I want to show you. I want to show you the true logic. Bear with me here. I'm a self-taught computer programmer. My the way my brain does logic is I have more experience than you. I want to show you the hard logic so you can learn how to turn off these gut issues in your brain. Everything in your body is controlled by your brain. We have to learn how to switch off our digestive issues and other diseases in our brain. Our brain controls everything in the body. So I want to unbrainwash you from the modern medicine and the holistic medicine bullcrap. So, one of the things I hear people say is, oh, I take this supplement and it heals me. Now let's rewind, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, supplements did not exist. How did people 100 years ago get by, from Crohn's disease and colitis and IBS, these gut diseases? How did they get by without supplements? I mean, there'd be so many, it's a miracle some of us are even alive. How did we get by without supplements? Okay? How did we get by without special foods? We live in a modern world today where we can almost have access to anything. 100 years ago, that wasn't the case. You could only eat what was grown in your community. That was it. That was it. You ate the same foods your whole entire life. If you were allergic to any of those foods, you would die. You would starve. So the whole idea, it wasn't even allowed to be an idea that you were allergic to a food because you would starve to death. That's not the case today. Supplements, we're selling supplements. We're selling these organic foods. Why? Why? There are people who eat so bad. There are people who take no supplements and they have zero digestive issues. They have perfect digestion. They have perfectly formed stools every single day. You had perfectly formed stools. You had perfect digestion for the majority of your life. It wasn't the foods that changed. It wasn't the lack of supplements that changed. It was a stressful event in your life. When did your digestive issues start? Think. It was a little bit difficult for me to find that out because I didn't have a real big turning event in my life. But for those of you with colitis, for sure, it should be a very distinct emotional distress that caused your digestive symptoms. For a lot of people, it's buying and selling a house, remodeling a house. It is going through a breakup, going through a divorce, family drama, deaths in the family, and then school and work related drama. It is almost always one of these four things. What was really stressing you out when your digestive issue started? What got resolved when your digestive issue started? That is going to help you see this logic. I want to know what is true 100% of the time. I don't want to know what's true 10% of the time. Oh, I got better taking this supplement, and it's a lie. Guys, it is a lie. Most people who take these supplements, they're switching to that supplement this week, that supplement the next week, then this month or that month. They're switching supplements all the time, and they're still on a really strict diet. The definition of healing is eating like a normal person and having perfectly formed stools. Do not bastardize that definition. There are people who literally drink Red Bull every single day. There are people who drink 5 cups of coffee every single day. There are competitive eaters that eat thousands of calories of junk food every single day, and they don't have digestive issues. Why is that? I'm going to tell you what is true 100% of the time with people with IBS, Crohn's, and colitis. You look at their brainstem. You open up their little brain. You open it up. You look at it on a CT scan. Every single time in their brain CT. Look, listen, if this doesn't register for you, just click off this channel and don't watch me anymore. Because you don't have the logical mind to get better. I'm sorry. Look in the brain. If you look on the brain CT scan, you will see a ring in the same exact location 100% of the time. If someone doesn't have Crohn's and colitis, there will not be a ring there. That is proof. That is hard, solid evidence that this process of cell proliferation and cell removal is controlled by the brain. And if that is such a hard concept for you to comprehend, that the brain actually controls the body, how? Your brain moves your arm, your brain controls your gut. Your brain is, I understand where the confusion comes from. People think that gut disease is an injured gut. That is, it is injured, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It is injured. The gut is constantly injured and inflamed and trying to get better because there's this process of cell proliferation and cell removal happening over and over and over and over and over again due to this hard to digest thing in our life. This hard to digest thing in our life turned it on in the first place. We read some stupid book about some stupid diet and we start to perceive foods as hard to digest. Then we start to perceive our symptoms as hard to digest, and it turns into this runaway snowball that destroys our life. What are the indigestible things in your life? What do you overthink? Start to see how your symptoms and the stress in your life are connected. When you have diarrhea, ask yourself, when you have gut pain, ask yourself, what hard to digest situation did I just resolve? This is true 100% of the time. It can be a little tricky understanding how our subconscious perceive these things. It's an unpredictable thing, but every single time I talk to somebody, every single time I work with somebody one-on-one, the symptoms and the conflict, the stress, they always align. Every single time. This hard to digest conflict shock put the gut into overdrive. It got resolved somehow, and it started removing the gut cells, and all those fun, nasty symptoms come up. That is how this works. I have seen people take supplements for years. Nothing to show for it. I've seen people do all sorts of diets and get tons of nutrients into their diet. Zero results. Actually got worse. But the second that they understand that their gut condition is caused by a stressful event, they come to peace with their symptoms. They understand it. I've literally seen them put on 10 to 20 kilograms in a month or two. 10 to 20, 30 pounds in a month or two. And it's because we are turning it off in the brain. It's that simple. There's really no room for discussion that, oh, if I eat perfect, I'm going to get better. It's great to give your body nutrients, but if you're doing that by demonizing other foods, you can't get better because it is putting the gut in and out of overdrive. And I've seen it so many times, it's not funny. We are humans. We are not unique snowflakes. We are all programmed to work the same. We just have different traumatic inputs that make us see the world differently. This is what you need to do to get better, guys. If you want to apply to work with me one-on-one, you can go down in the description below and click on the link. So good luck healing, guys. I'll talk to you later.